one last bit we want to do before we're done. I need to add the metal band in the middle here, and so we're going to go back in time machine back, all the way back to our planes. I'm going to take the carafe top and copy it downward by, let's say, 1.5 inches. And then I'm going to copy that one downward by 0.83 inches, which just so happens to be the thickness of our metal band. Ironic, isn't it? We'll call this the metal band top. And the next one, the metal band bottom. You guessed it. Move this up under here. And back to the future. Now on the bottom surface, let's go ahead and sketch. We'll create a sketch, and I'm going to use an arc from center point. So we go around the other side, and I will connect this point with the center plane. Finally, smart dimension on this puppy. And let's make it 1.9 inches. So it's just a little bit bigger than our carafe. In fact, maybe 1.89. Just tighten it up. Just it's right there on the edge. Lastly, we need to add a little thing sticking off the end of it, because the handle is connected via a little flange sticking off the end of this band. So I'm going to add a fillet using the fillet tool, and the fillet tool allows me, I can either click on this and then that edge and it'll put a fillet between, or I can just click this vertex, which is what I'm going to do. And let's give it a 1/4 inch fillet. Click OK. And now I just need to dimension that a little bit. So smart dimension from here to here. Let's give that maybe a quarter inch. Maybe from here to the right plane should be, say, 0.9 inches. And from here to the right plane, let's call that, oh, not 0.9 inches. Ha! I'm going to call that 0.21 inches. And this was not supposed to be 0.9. Let's make that 0.09 inches. Much better. Alright. This is, that's looking about right. Now I just need to extrude that on up. I'll use my surface extrude. And we'll say, instead of blind, we want to extrude up to surface, and I'll just choose the second plane. So that way, it'll just always go right up to that plane and no further. Now I want to cut off, I need a diagonal cut off of this thing. And so let's go ahead and get to our front plane, draw a sketch, and I'm going to use, go up here to my view menu and click on this little guy here with the little arrow coming out of it. That is for view normal to sketch plane. You can draw a line right across. Now to constrain this, I'm actually going to add a couple of points that are coincident to this line and use those to constrain my line, and I'll show you why in a second. Let's go here and I'll make those coincident. Go here and make those coincident. And what this is going to allow me to do, I can measure a distance here, call that 0.25 inches, and whatever distance we want from the center plane here. Let's just say 0.75 inches. What this allows me to do, having these points here, is I can extend this line out a little bit further. I'm just going to make it, you know, good solid 0.5 inches longer than it needs to be. And the reason for that is because I tried this earlier, and if the line doesn't extend beyond the outside edges of our surface, what I'm about to do next will not work. Let's go to Surfaces, Trim Surface, and for the Trim tool we'll use our sketch, you guessed it, and then I'll just click this little section that I want to get rid of, and boom, we are getting mighty close, mighty close. The one more thing we need to do is extrude a surface on the right plane. Go to Normal, and let's just call that 0.2 inches and move it on up a little bit. Doesn't really matter much where it is, honestly. That's just that's where the screw is going to be that holds everything together. I'm going to go both directions with this surface just so we got plenty of surface to work with. And I think that pretty much wraps it up for our master model. We may come back here later and add something, but for the moment I think that should be enough to move on. So let's go ahead and go back to our main assembly.